I apologize for the background noise. It is landscaping day and it is technology day. So we've been leading up step by step with the precepts that I believe that you need to understand in order to get the most benefit. The beautiful thing about this piece of technology is that you don't need to do all the other things that I alluded to, and I'll walk through them very, very briefly. To get a benefit, you will get the most benefit when you engage those other pieces. What are the other pieces? Primarily, first and foremost, is, are you taking on doing your inner work? So one of the general questions that someone that seeks to expand asks themselves, where is my work? Now, your work may be located in your physical body. If you have been disembodied for some time, creating that really intimate knowledge, like, for example, when I say, do you feel in alignment? It's very possible that you don't know how to feel in alignment. And so with practice, you pay attention to the signs and the cues that your body is giving you. And so you become more and more embodied. It's all about practice. Is your work shedding yourself of a false belief that you have? And let me tell you that my original list of lies, or the stories I tell myself, are still intact, but uncovering them was so amazing, right? Because it gave me this sense of freedom from them. Well, let me tell you how they come back in more and more subtle ways. The work doesn't stop. If you choose to be an expanding person, someone that is always looking for their next threshold, that work will not stop. We might reach a plateau. We can enjoy it. It doesn't stop. And a relationship with something larger than yourself. I use the word God, your creator, the source of energy for you, the source of all creation for you. So if you have those three pieces, when you start to engage with the technology, you will go that much further faster. So what is the technology? In physical three-dimensional terms, it looks like a chair, an upholstered chair. And you simply sit in the chair in a meditative posture, relaxed, and you let the technology do its thing. How does the technology work? Okay. So the field is emitted through a Tesla-based coil that is built into the hardware and the structure of the chair. So what the chair produces is basically a 3 to 4 foot sphere of this field that I've touched on before. It's the field of containment. It's the field in which your patterns reside outside of your body. It's the field where changes can really occur. If you have a tendency towards a health pattern, it can be stopped before it ever enters your body and becomes symptomatic. This field is the tangible connection you feel when you meditate in a group. It produces a tangible field. And in that field, anything is possible, truly. Then the practitioner, here's the really exciting part of this technology. The practitioner sits behind a motherboard and inputs all of your specific concerns: anxiety, inflammation, insomnia. They have definitely used this with cancerous ulcers, with surgeries, with ongoing chronic patterns. But I don't want to leave out the emotional ones too, because in this database of hundreds of thousands of specific vibrations, and the list is always growing, it's exponentially always getting bigger, your practitioner creates basically a protocol of specific vibrations specifically to be circulated in the field because the field can hold this vibration. What does that do for you, the person sitting in the chair? I'm going to illustrate it like this, though this is not exactly technically correct. Let's say that, I'm going to use myself as the example. My pattern was high blood pressure, right? So let's say that pattern has a certain vibration and a physical, I'm just talking about what a pattern might look like. Let's envision it as like those heartbeat kind of records that you see, where it's like kind of a scalar up and down wave. Again, this is for illustrative purposes only. So let's say that every time it goes up, that's where your pattern is kind of showing itself. And to be in complete harmony, it would be flat, right? As you become more and more in tune with your surroundings, the vibrational beats get faster and faster and faster as you actually ascend in vibration. So what your protocol does is it's beamed up to the cloud, and then that part, so you've got the field being supported by the chair, and then you've got your own personal protocol that is broadcast from a motherboard. So you've got the combination of your protocol being supported by the field that the chair emits. And the protocol that is kind of broadcast is the exact vibrational, I'm going to use the word opposite, complement to what your pattern is, so that it brings you back to a state of perfection. This doesn't happen like the snap of a fingers, but in the moment in the chair, it alleviates that state of the pattern. It can bring about, and I have to tell you, even if you're someone that's not really good at meditating, I know someone who had an experience with a chair. He's a real entrepreneurial go-getter, always on the go, has a lot of trouble sitting still, was like, I'm not really into the meditation thing. And yet everything stilled for him in that moment. Now, what happens in that still moment? Here's what happened for me. It allowed my conscious monkey mind that runs all the time, that brings us back to our lists we have to do, that brings us back to our, I don't know if this thing is going to work. I don't know if I can, I don't know that I can heal, any kind of doubt. It kind of lifts off that conscious veil that we all carry, and it lets you see your core self. Now, I have done plant medicine, and to me, this has the purest version of you being able to see your true self without the filter of psyche, but you are not altered. You are still present. You might feel peaceful. You might have a vision. You might see a color. You might feel a warmth in your body, and you might just feel still. Everyone has a different experience. And I have to tell you, every experience that I've had in the chair has been different. So I use the chair only because it is so new. It's not even branded yet. But I do believe that this type of technology can benefit not just our individual limiting beliefs and patterns, the anxiety we deal with every day, serious cases of depression. I know there is proof, there are testimonials, and there is documentation of it helping to shrink tumors. Now, it may be that it changes the chemical ability in that person's brain to flood the body with the chemicals that are produced of a state of healing. To me, it doesn't really matter how it technically works. It matters that the results that come out of it. And as we move along deeper into this, I will have experts on that in an interview style that you can understand if you really want kind of the real technical details. But for me, as a lay person and an end user, I believe that it could absolutely assist in the speed of any kind of healing, any kind of addiction treatment, any kind of psychological or abuse that you're recovering from trauma, any kind of PTSD. There is something that it enables the individual to reach. And again, if you're doing your work, you reach it that much deeper and faster to provide holistic healing. The healing of your body, your mind, your heart, and your spirit, so that your soul can ascend to your next threshold. So that is, and meanwhile, what are you doing? You're simply sitting in a chair and you're allowing yourself to reach your own personal still point. So today I invite you to maybe watch this again and see if anything resonates, or see if something kicks up and you're resistant to it. Because I think that there's a lot of gold in both places. So as we go along, I want to kind of gather a little bit more of the technical part so I could share it with those of you that really want to like understand how and what type of vibration they're using. How does Tesla technology come into play here? I think all of those things are really important facets. But I really just, with this 5th video, wanted to draw just a sketch of the picture of how this particular aspect of quantum healing, patient involvement, you're not going and saying, here's my symptoms, fix me. You are the center of your care, and your practitioner is your support system. So you've got to be willing to take responsibility for healing yourself. It's not an easy ask, but if you are ready, dramatic changes can occur. And if you're interested in finding out more, click the link below. And I will continue to bring you little pieces of how it advances. It's always unfolding. It's always being improved upon. The database of protocols grows every single day to dial in what's most effective. And I'm interested to see if any of you are moved or intrigued by the possibility of truly being able to shift patterns that perhaps you've carried your whole life and beyond that. And I will see you tomorrow.